you move from panic into power? That's a question I asked myself recently, very strongly, in relation to some things that happened in my business that caused overwhelm and fear to emerge. And it really got me thinking about what is it inside of me and what is it inside of you that enables you to keep going and to stay strong when everything goes crazy, when it's like chaos breaks loose. Things don't go according to plan. Well, we all know there's that saying, how do you make God laugh? Tell him your plans. And, well, that happened last week. I think I told God my plans and he had a really good laugh. And I realized that there's nothing I can absolutely predict. Life in business, life on the edge is always going to have that kind of unpredictable factor. It's life. But how do we actually handle it internally as business owners and not go crazy and not flip out and not, mess everything up? Because we need to hold it together. You see, I was on a webinar this morning and my mentor was on there and he was talking about how so many people are flipping out right now because there's a lot of things going wrong. It's a launch, we know what happens, launches, beta tests. Talk about things not going to plan. I think it's almost built into the plan that those sorts of things happen. And he said, how do we shift from panic to power? And it really got me thinking about how do I do that? What are the mechanisms that I have in place? What are the techniques and the processes and the mindset that works for me? And one of them, obviously, as you can tell, is coming out for walks. And that gives me some clarity and a chance to reflect. But another thing that I have, and I invite you to think about this too in your own life, is to have ranting partners. What do I mean by that? To me, those are people that you can absolutely just go crazy, go ballistic, call them even if they don't answer, and leave a message on their answer phone, which is completely insane, mad, you want to kill, murder, you want to homicide, suicide, whatever. And you have a place to be completely real and to just vent and to allow yourself just to be. And to me, that's really, really powerful. So have you got those people in place? Have you got people in your life that you can absolutely go crazy, go ballistic, and they won't stop loving you and they won't judge you? To me, that's a really, really important thing to have in place. It's like having a stabilizer. Because we will go through things. Stuff happens. Life isn't always pretty. It's not a straight line. So how do we handle those zigzags and wiggles and speed bumps and blocks and quicksand, all that crazy stuff? How do you actually handle it? You see this? And you see that? There's almost no water in it. There's really no danger of drowning. Here's the thing. My subconscious isn't sure it knows the difference between that being full and that being empty. And it decides when I freak out that I'm in danger of drowning. Now, do you see that dog in there? I don't know if you can see it, who has got extremely muddy now. So I'm going to have to figure that out and clean him off. But the subconscious will kick in, and sometimes we really don't know the magnitude of what we're dealing with. Might actually be really small. We've just got triggered and we think we're going to drown. We think we're going to die. We think all is lost when really we're just having a breakthrough. I know as a facilitator, as a coach, as a retreat leader, that part of breaking through is that fear, that confusion, the chaos, the overestimation of the stuff that we need to get through. And it's not always easy, I get it. And things are going to happen that will stretch us and will challenge us. But actually, how big are they really? If we can look at the scheme of things, that dog should be well underwater by now. That water was that was a really big lake not so long ago, several feet deep. People could have drowned. But there's no danger of that right now. And it's a little bit the same with our past memories of things that have gone wrong. And when we get triggered, when stuff happens and You know, we get these memories of failure and crap that's gone on, and it somehow amplifies what's going on in the present. So how do you bring back that sense of perspective so that you realize you're not going to drown, no matter how bad it is, no matter how awful the technological difficulties or the teleclass that went crazy or the client that didn't pay you or the launch that wasn't happening properly? How do you handle all of that adversity and bring back some perspective? I thought I'd bring you here to this deep, vast lake so you can see there's really no danger of drowning. And there's a danger of getting dirty, but no drowning hazard here. So here's one thing I want you to consider, that your mindset is like the seed in a tree. And that when that seed is strong, and let's consider that the seed of your business too, that then you can grow a really healthy tree. And that tree is your products, your services, your offerings, the resources, the support systems that you have. But that tree needs to have a very strong root system. I'm not sure that looks like a very good tree. It kind of looks a bit weird, but I think you get the idea. And for me, that seed which gives rise to the tree, that is your business, is you, your mindset, your capacity to manage your emotions, your capacity to hold on to your vision in the face of adversity, when stuff goes crazy. And how do you do that? What are your support systems? Something else that I do is I meditate in the mornings, and I know that gives me a strong sense of grounding. And I also keep myself inspired by reading and listening and watching videos and going to webinars of people I respect and love, people whose work inspires me and keeps me on track when I feel like everything's crazy. And I do some exercise every day. I connect with my body, I move, and I stay strong. And I know that's another very important piece that keeps me from going crazy when all those things, well, inevitably things are going to go wrong, right? In business, that's how it is. So what are the practices that you have in place? I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what you do. Tell me how you stay sane in the face of insanity. Tell me how you turn your panic into power. Put your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Now I've got to go clean up a very dirty dog.